Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
This House is in session. Minutes of the meeting held on February 6th, February 13th, February 16th, 2024 to be confirmed. Honourable Leader, Government Business.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg to move that the aforesaid minutes be confirmed.
The question is that the aforementioned minutes be confirmed. All those honourable members in favour, please say aye. Those against, please say no. We think the ayes have it. The aforementioned minutes are confirmed. Minutes of the meeting held on February 23rd, 2024 to be deferred.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the aforesaid minutes be deferred.
Question is that the aforementioned minutes be deferred. All those honourable members in favour, please say aye. Those against, please say no. We think the ayes have it. The aforementioned minutes are hereby deferred.
Announcements by Your Honour the Speaker. Messages from Her Excellency the President. Petitions, papers, government notices, private members' notices, notices of questions, reports from select committees.
Honourable Leader, Government Business.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am pleased to lay the report of the Joint Select Committee on Social Sector and the Environment on the Child Protection Bill 2023, as well as the Child Justice Bill 2023.
First readings of bills, statements by ministers, congratulatory and/or obituary speeches, personal explanations, motions for leave of absence, oral replies to questions, notices of motions for the adjournment of the House on matters of urgent public importance, orders of the day.
Honourable Leader, Government Business.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move the suspension of Standing Orders 6, 16, 18, 20, 42, subsection 5, 43, and 44 for the remainder of the day's sitting.
The question is that the aforementioned standing orders be suspended for the remainder of the day's sitting. All those honourable members in favour, please say aye. Those against, please say no. We think the ayes have it. The aforementioned standing orders are hereby suspended for the remainder of the day's sitting.
Business, sir.
Government business is the order of the day.
Order number 8, in the name of the Honourable Minister in the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, to move the second reading of the Appropriation Bill 2024.
Honourable Leader, Government Business.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg to move that you do not leave the chair and that the House resolve itself into Standing Finance Committee for further consideration of the bill and the schedule to the bill.
The question is that the Speaker do not leave the chair and the House resolve itself into Standing Finance Committee. All those honourable members in favour, please say aye. Those against, please say no. Me think the ayes have it.
This House is now in standing Finance Committee.
Mr. Chairman, Head 35, Ministry of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, in the amount of $104,189,989.
Mr. Chairman, I beg permission for my staff and colleagues to join me, please, in the ministry.
So granted. Before we proceed, the minister proceeds with his opening remarks. Just let me welcome those public officers to the House, and let me also clearly state the parameters under which this session is held. The minister, in his opening remarks, have 10 minutes. Other members of Parliament, when you begin with your questions, you have 3 minutes before you, in your opening remark, 3 minutes, and then you have 3 supplementary questions there. The Leader of the Opposition, you have in your opening remarks, and you will speak behind the minister, 10 minutes. 10 minutes in your opening remarks. I'm asking members to indicate clearly by, the usual procedure with respect to your name, your tag, so that I can identify the order in which persons have requested to speak. To the public officers with us, before you begin in this session, you state your name and the position which you hold for the record of the House. Once you've done that the first time, you don't need to repeat it if you're going to speak a second time. But as you're speaking for the first time, you need to state your name and the position you hold within the ministry. I will also indicate when when you're coming close to the end of your time, within a minute or so before you complete your time, I will indicate so that you begin your wrap-up. Honourable Minister, you may proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I want to begin by thanking the staff in the ministry who are here with me for the excellent work they would have done.
Honorable Minister, just sorry to interrupt you. Let me say to those persons sitting in the well, please turn your phones completely off, because even if they are on vibrate, they will affect the recording of this house. So turn your phones completely off for the duration of the time that you are in the well. Thank you, Minister. You may proceed.
Thank you very much again, Mr. Chairman. I want to begin by thanking my staff who would have worked very hard over the last year to be able to deliver on the amount of programs that you will hear us discuss over the next few hours. I also want to thank my colleagues for all the work that I think that we've been doing over the last year as well. Mr. Chairman, I want to begin by setting some context with these estimates, sir, recognizing that I am the first on behalf of the government. I do not wish to spend the little time that I have discussing all social programming and the history of it, nor do I wish to spend time discussing this government's stellar record in social programming. Although I know we should not take it for granted, because the ILO reminds us that only 27% of the world enjoys a comprehensive social protection system. But what I do wish to do today, sir, is to have a conversation around what I term inclusive prosperity, and why I believe we are leveraging social policy to bring dignity and decency into the lives of people, using an economic growth model to help in this process. But the primary concern for us obviously remains people. Sir, as you know, and I don't have to say it, sir, we face several local and global adversities. I will not go through all, but we've had hurricanes, ash falls, we've seen difficulties in supply chains and so on. What is clear to me is that our people are resilient people. And we've seen it in the social policy, we've seen it in the economic policy. And we've seen tourism rebound, sir, and be able to finance a lot of this. And why would I talk about tourism as a Minister of People Empowerment, sir? Because it is important for us to understand that this resilience, this economic resilience, provide what I call a fertile ground for implementing comprehensive social policies. To be able to use our own economic framework, our own development, to be able to propel people. So our aim is to deliver efficient, impactful social services tailored to meet the needs of the most vulnerable, empowering them to lead dignified and secure lives within their communities. In other words, sir, we do not see our recipients, our social clients, as passive recipients of government's goods and services, but as active agents, sir, in this development process. And you will see through these estimates, sir, that we are making every effort now to move beyond this idea that the ministry is a welfare ministry, and now is focused on development and developing people. You will also see a reflection of a paradigm shift in that we've started empowering a lot more of the NGOs to do the work, sir, because we believe from a philosophical standpoint that government works best when it's working in tandem with the NGO community to deliver goods and services to people. This government, sir, and this particular set of estimates would be the largest amount of NGOs, large and small, to be supported by the government to be able to do this kind of work. And you will see that reflected in every single department under this ministry, sir. So there are a few things that I wish to talk about very quickly. And the first, sir, is the strategic framework for inclusive, people-centered empowerment, sir, within the context of the economic opportunity, because I think it's important for us to understand that this economic opportunity we're seeing must be inclusive and it must redound to the benefit of people. In the ministry, sir, we say that we must move from dependence to independence to interdependence, where people are in a position to give back. And I am forcing this ministry, driving this ministry, working with this ministry to ensure that we rethink and reimagine this ministry as a key pillar in the development process, moving beyond the idea that we are just receiving goods and services. And that is why, sir, dignity and empowerment will be the hallmarks of our presentation. At the end of the day, sir, we have a unique opportunity, I think now, to leverage this growth to the benefit of people, inclusive growth for social development. The important program, sir, that I wish to say is that this year, sir, we have received $109 million, sir, 842, including our statutory obligations, which is an increase of $2 million over last year up front. You should also consider that we have removed the pensions from these estimates. That's an additional $4 million. So really and truly, these estimates at the beginning represent a $6 million increase over last year's estimates. So and we took out $3 million in pensions for childcare and $1 million and plus from the National Assistance Board. So, sir, what are we doing with some of these monies, sir, and why is this important? So the first, and I think the first tool in terms of social policy and programming in terms of the ministry in totality is that we've now decentralized social services. And by this, sir, I'm talking about the amalgamation of the social services to family services, sir, which will make a meaningful difference. It's going to change how people access social services. It's going to reduce poverty. It's going to reduce inequality. It allows us to be a lot more productive, sir, and for those who are interested in the workforce, it gives us the opportunity to stabilize the workforce, sir, and to drive sustainable, inclusive economic development. This single agency, sir, as you know, has been touted by this administration, the other government, sir. In fact, they created the Ministry for Family. But this government, sir, is the first to be able to bring together these agencies to actively deliver for families in Barbados, sir. And not only have we done that, we have also delivered, sir, an elderly policy, disability policy. We have now the child protection legislation, which we will be debating very soon. We have in draft disability legislation, which is now with CPC and will soon be here before us, and elderly drafting instructions before the cabinet very soon, sir. In the same time, sir, we repaired the Vauxhall Senior Citizens Home, Lancaster Home, sir. We started work in the Child Care Board on nurseries. A lot of comprehensive work that was not done in the preceding 10 years, sir. This government has been busy delivering for the people of Barbados. The other thing we've done, sir, is in relation to education and skill development. Throughout the ministry, you would find that all of the agencies are focused on delivering training to all of our constituents, whether it be at the One Family, welfare, national assistance, sir. This idea that we must drive development, sir, by empowering people in a way that makes sense. So you would find that all of us, sir, are training our staff, sir, we're training our clients to make sure that people have access to the growth that this country is talking about. Because at the end of the day, sir, this ministry must see itself beyond delivering goods and services to people, but empowering people in a real sense. We've also, sir, moved toward healthcare, accessibility, and well-being. We have just expanded the HIV Commission to be now the National Wellbeing and HIV Commission with a wider mandate, sir, to be able to make Barbados a healthier place for us to live, sir, and deliver again for people. The HIV Commission gained a lot of skills over the last few years, sir, in the work that they would have done. And then, sir, we have also now become a transformative directorate, sir, with part of the new amalgamation. In other words, sir, a big part of us, we used to talk about welfare to work. We've rethink that, sir, in a way that now says we must come from the very beginning to talk about transformation, so that essentially at the end of the day, people are empowered in everything they do. And then lastly, sir, a focus on gender equality and family support, again, throughout the ministry to ensure that both men and women can benefit, sir. If we look at these numbers, I'm watching the time. If we look at these numbers, sir, you would see that in every agency, considering what I said about the removal of pensions, every agency under the ministry has seen an increase in support, sir, which signals our desire, sir, and this government's commitment to look after people who are in need of help, sir. I would have mentioned that we renovated Lancaster and Vauxhall for about $3 million, sir. The first set of work done on these villages of this kind, this magnitude, sir. In addition to that, sir, it is the government's plan over the next year to begin building out facilities for older people in every single parish, sir, to make sure that as Barbados ages, and we now have a very aged population, the census tells us that 1 in every 5 Barbadians now is over 65, and 1 in every 4 over the age of 60. This tells us that we have to change the way we've been doing business, sir. The ministry, as you can see in our estimates, is serious about helping older people, sir. It was this government, sir, that brought on 420 elder care workers. It was this government, sir, that even though other people were cut, these workers were not cut. And in fact, what we did, sir, was to make sure we provided them this year with vacation, NAS payments, sick days, and stabilize the whole situation, sir, recognizing that this is important. We've also, for the first time, provided physiotherapists and nurses, sir, to be able to do the level of work that we intend to do for older people, sir. At the National Disabilities Unit, sir, we've also done significant work. You would have seen that we have brought the policy for disabilities. We're working on the legislation, and that draft policy is complete. We also had what we call the Hinkson Commission, but sir, they would have met with over 60 to 65 different groups in the process of compiling the most participatory consultation in the history, I think, of any such consultation. So very quickly, the Child Care Board, sir, has also seen an increase in its support, recognizing that pensions were also removed. And I would like to say, sir, the Child Protection Bill, which comes back to this House very soon, I believe the report is either has been laid or will be laid very soon. Sir, and why is that important? In 2019 to 2020, there were 495 cases of abuse reported. 2020 to 2021, 437 cases of abuse reported. 2021 to 2022, 538 cases, and 2022 to 2023, 560 cases, sir, of abuse reported. The figures thus far tell us, sir, that we're on trajectory for there or thereabout as well. In addition, we will be bringing on mental health nurses, recreational therapists, expression art, a number of things to make sure that the Child Care Board can function, sir, and in a way that is cohesive, sir, and for the benefit of the children. The last department, sir, recognizing my time, I will speak of very quickly, sir, is the Welfare Department, very quickly. So the Welfare Department is one of those departments, sir, that receive perhaps the most criticism in the ministry, sir, and I think not in a just way. The reason I say this, sir, is because the Welfare Department continues to provide services to people in Barbados every single day. Sir, during COVID, while many persons were home, the Welfare Department was actually working 4 or 5 times as hard. I'm very proud of the staff in the Welfare Department, sir. I'm also very proud of the work they would have done within recent times, sir, including customer satisfaction, counseling and guidance, sir, to be able to treat people better at the core. Obviously, we haven't gotten it all right, but we're working to ensure that we get it a little bit better. Sir, very quickly, we would have spent on food 7.7 million in 2022 to 2023. 2023 to 2024, it's only 3.9 million, sir. And we believe a lot of these reductions will be because a lot of persons' circumstances have changed, a lot of persons have gone back into the workforce, and so on, and you're seeing those numbers here. And we've also created a resilience unit, sir, and reintegration unit. This unit is to deal with shocks. You know, we've seen a lot of people, sir, not being evicted sometimes because of domestic violence or family issues, sir, to be able to deal with some of those issues, and also to address the issues pertaining to homelessness. And of course, sir, we've also done some work in the One Family program to bring 1,000 families. If a family averages 4 persons, that's 4,000 persons effectively out of poverty, sir. And to do so in a way that gives them dignity through training and empowerment in a real way, sir. So, sir, I conclude by saying that the ministry's social policy program is a strategic instrument for helping the vulnerable. This is not some ad hoc situation that has not been thought of, sir. We clearly have done the most work in relation to legislation. We're changing the administration. We're changing the delivery system, sir, and laying a foundation, I think, for robust economic growth for all. Because at the end of the day, sir, what persons who are our clients have told us is that they want to be part of the bigger picture of Barbados. They do not just want to be seen as a welfare client, sir. They see themselves as being part of the productive processes. And that is how we are now imagining the delivery of social policy. Thank you, sir.
Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Your Honor, and good morning to all. Mr. Chairman of Committees, if there's one ministry within the government that reveals the soul of a government, it probably is the ministry so styled as People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, and I listened to the minister very carefully